Yo everybody, Sir Comfort here for you with yet another weekly benchmark video. Blaze didn't turn on today because I forgot to do them. I should have turned them on. Well, yeah, but whatever. It's kind of, mine's all over the place as of today. Cause, uh, because the end of event was last week, before last week. Conglomerate into a mess nowadays. It was about a week and a half ago event ended for Kankole. And before that, uh, after that, I had the final day of my drawing. My drawing took up, a second. My drawing took up, basically, I finished the full year. So we're done with the full year, and it's been 7 days since then. And all I've really done is I've been conglomerating. Yes, really. I was really stressed out on the day that I 65 because it didn't go that well. Following that, I had some big ideas, which none of them I have fallen through with. Hopefully, though, I have one big idea starting today that I hope I'll go through. Everything else hasn't gone that well. I got a new big book, though. I've been drawing all 7 days on this big book. Cool. Hopefully, I'm thinking of starting a comic. Like a manga. It's not gonna look good or anything, but I was thinking of starting it. Maybe I'll draw it right here. Maybe I'll do it online with Photoshop, but I don't think I'm good enough at Photoshop because I haven't used it at all. Over the entire year that I've been drawing, I basically not used Photoshop at all for any of my drawings. I only upload my drawings and fix them up and upload them as PNGs. That's about all I've done with them. So I don't really know if that's the right thing to do. I think what the right thing to do is basically maybe draw it on here and do that every day. Do like 1 or 2 panels on here, but the problem with drawing on paper is that if you accumulate disasters, aka mistakes, they tend to show really easily. That's not good for production quality. With Photoshop, there is no mistakes because all the mistakes get erased later on. Quite handily, in fact, which is why most people online, they don't really draw on paper. They draw on Photoshop or they draw on Photoshop or they draw on, I don't know. I only really use Photoshop, so I don't know the other ones, but like Toon Boom, that's an animation thing. CSP, I think it was called. I'm not really quite sure, but yeah, it's much easier to draw online, and I really should start. So maybe I'll try it. I'm actually just procrastinating right now by doing this. It's due today, the video, but I'm doing this basically to gather my thoughts and think, what do I want to do from here on out? It's the start of the 2nd year. I've done 7 drawings. All of them include hands, though, because that was one of my goals. All of my drawings containing hands, as you can see right here. A hand, a hand, a hand, a hand, a hand, hand, and a hand. All 7 of them have hands, right? That's the theme of the second year, hands. But if I go on to this manga idea, which won't go well because it'll be entirely in original concepts, loosely based original concepts. I don't even have a character reference for my characters, so it's not gonna go that well. But I'm thinking it's better to try it than not, because at this point I'll just be doing this all year. And this is just derivative. This is derivative drawings, which I've been doing for the past year, and I haven't really grown much as an artist. I think I really need to get to the point where I'm actually starting to challenge myself. A good way to challenge myself is to get out of my comfort zone. And my comfort zone is currently just drawing portraits. If I draw a manga, I have to draw full characters, I have to draw dynamic poses, I have to draw all that, but it's gonna look really, really not that great. But at this point, I mean, like, nobody really looks at my drawings, so there's not a lot of high risk, high reward. It's just more like I either disappoint myself by not doing it, or I disappoint myself by saying I'll do it later. You know, if you do it now, at least you tried. If it goes badly, that's about what you expect. It's a win-win or a lose-lose situation. I was reading this inspirational. Like this. Not but. I need to be in a better mood to do this drawing. That's not what you. However, what you should do is I will be in a better mood if I do this drawing. No, it's the little thing. I just can't get it right. I've tried 50 times. Not that. It's the thing is, you're trying to do something that is really hard. When it comes down to it, I read all of the panels on this comic, and it is quite. It is a good thing to have, because honestly, when it comes down to it, artist is somebody that has to suffer diligently, or else they won't improve. You can get into your niche. You could get into your niche, and you could become really good at your niche, but you're not gonna grow as an artist if you stay in. I was looking at this one artist recently. He's known for drawing in a very distinct style, and he's trying, which is the right thing to do, to throw that all away, to restart on a new account, because he's become known for that one style of drawing. When you're known as a style of drawing artist, it's fine if you can use that as leverage, but sometimes you come into the feeling where you're just stuck there. You're stuck there and you can't do anything about it. And maybe I'll grow into that rut myself, but you know, it's better than staying in the rut that I currently am, because this rut is non-productive. It's honestly put self-inflicting, unmoral, and frankly put, just kind of tad bit tedious. I'm not really learning anything, just kind of drawing something. My weekly benchmarks have been going good. Like, but those weekly benchmarks recently have not been more original. They've been mostly derivative, because I've been running out of time, and I haven't been feeling as motivated recently. And I read the Voynich Hotel because I was so dang tired, and I was procrastinating a heck of a lot, like 1 to 2 days ago. I read it, and it reminded me of why I wanted to start drawing. I wanted to start drawing to create stories. You know, from the very start, it wasn't about making a pretty picture. It was never about making somebody that a lot of people would like. It was about making a story, because I was raised by stories. It's what I should be doing. From the very start, I always aimed to be a comic artist. I never aimed to be an illustrator. And honestly, my style of drawing is not that great. I feel like, if anything, I spent more time enjoying making up stories in my notebook than actually, you know, drawing. And drawing is part of the fun process. I like drawing, don't get me wrong, but I need to start working towards something. Because I'm not gaining a lot of traction. In fact, I feel like I've been falling a little bit behind. And if I try and art a comic, then maybe at least I'll be, pushing myself to try harder than I have been recently. Which, when it comes down to recently, I haven't been pushing myself at all. I've just been making ends meet, and making ends meet was good and all a year ago when I wasn't doing anything. Very productive. I was making a lot of progress, but now I'm not making, I'm not making any progress whatsoever. I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. Instead of actually making something worthwhile. And the culmination of effort is not how much you succeed. The culmination of effort is how much you failed. Failure is the epitome of progress. You need to fail to make the strides forward. Sometimes you need to be set back to move up. Set down to move up. People only really show their successes. Artists are one of the most failure-induced strategies online. They fail very often. Nobody shows their failures. That's why it's hard to concur that maybe you need to fail more. All I look at it on Twitter is the best artists and the best players and the other things, but they didn't get there in a fortnight. They didn't get there in a day. They got there over years, man. They needed to fail. They had to fail in order to make it where they were. They were never... Even if you were talented enough to naturally make it without failure, that doesn't mean you're going to get any better staying in that niche. You're not going to improve as a person. Talent stays talent. Hard work induces progress. I need to fail on a greater level that actually tries to move me forward. The current rate I'm at is going to be imperatively negative if I stay on this path. It'll be slower moving if I stay on this path, and obviously moving the bar up to 1 hand per day does conduce some positive yield over a long period of time, but more often than not, it's derivative. And derivative is not what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for original. I hate derivative work. Completely derivative work. Derivative is good if you use them as loosely based references. A lot of my stories are loosely based, referential, inspired. Nothing in this world is inherently original anymore. Everything was discovered a long time ago. We're in the middle age. We're in the new age. We're at the top age, where everything's been figured out and it's hard to make something genuinely... It matters not. What matters? What matters? What matters is not how they do it. It's how you do it. Why compare yourself to others? It's backwards water. You aren't them. You're you. When I'm asked the question, who do I want to be? That's a stupid fucking question. I wouldn't want to be anyone but myself. If I was someone else, I would cease to be. It is backwards water. It is so stupid. If I wanted to be Elon Musk, I would just be Elon Musk. He would not be me. I would not be him in his body. I would be literally him. Or else I would cease to be. I would cease to be. Because otherwise, me and his body would be the worst thing ever. Like, trying to be yourself in someone else's body is negatively impactful for both of you. Think about it. You can't do what Elon Musk does. You can't do what Trump does. Trump is known, like if you didn't know, Trump is known for sleeping 3 to 4 hours a day. If I was in Trump's body, I wouldn't be able to do that. I hate sleeping 3 to 4 hours. I can barely sleep on 7. I'm always sleep deprived. I'm always negative, and I don't have that go-getter attitude. The second I become Trump, Trump would cease to be, and I would cease to be. It would be a conglomeration of the two of us, and honestly, that's worse for both of us. I never understood this question. Why would you want to be anyone else? You are you, and they are they. It doesn't make a lot of damn sense, okay? And it's wholly put negative. In the case you become them and they become you, it would be a body swap where you both lose. More so, the person that was successful than the person that was not. The successful person would be replaced by a weaker person. That weaker person would be influenced by money, wouldn't know what to do with that money, would spend it wholly, awfully. And then the successful person that has worked their life up, put their entire life into their work, dedicated hours upon hours to learning routinely how to play the best they could, has lost all that progress, has been set back into a new body that is comparatively worse put in a worse position overall. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I feel like the whole of some parts should be the progress made onto a person, not onto others. I feel progress is something that's imperative to the person, not the norm. At the end of the day, we all meet the same fate. So, why be ashamed of the way you're living? Just gonna be in the same ground anyway. If anything, you should be proud of what you've done. Be proud that you're still alive. So many people aren't, after all. But why? Why can't I try harder? Why can't I do better? Why must I always hold myself back? I want to succeed, but I can't. I want to try harder, but it's too hard. I don't understand anything. It's all a blur. Even so, with all this gusto and this talk of getting better, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to draw it. I don't even know if I'll even be able to start. Starting is the hardest part, after all. In a vacuum, everything seems awful. But in reality, it's only yourself holding your... The man with a noose around his neck will only blame the external, not the internal means upon which he met that fate. Forsooth, does he not? No. He brought it onto himself and no other. There were many times he could have walked away. So many times. And yet the man in infinite wisdom decided not. He decided unto himself that it was all others' fault, not his own. For he had never known any wrong. Surely, he was the bearer of all ill will. Surely, he was destined to fail. Contrivances, all of it. He could have walked away a long time. Could have changed his path. Could have tried harder. But what a bitter pill to take. All the sweeter to just deny such a being. All the nicer to choose the easy way out, eh? As per usual. As per usual. I fail yet again. Anyway, it's something that I have to fight against myself with, if anything. I have yet to decide whether to do it or not to do it. I have yet to decide whether to do it in Photoshop or on my sketchbook. I have yet to decide a lot. But these weekly benchmark videos do help me come to terms with my ideas. My ideals. Ideas and ideals, after all, are the same. I know not much, but however, sometimes even that's out of reach. Anyhow. No. I did all more last week. Really? The end was about a week ago. Oh, how it seemed so bright. Anyway, designated workers week 50. I decided to end it at 50. 50 is such a round number. A whole year's worth, right? Not quite a whole year, but you get on what I mean. You know what I mean. 50 is 50 weeks. 50 weeks is long time. Very long time. I don't even know if this mic is picking up half what I say, but whatever. Could be. Would say. I liked it. Like drawing all. It was a good end to the designated designated workers weekly. Anyhow, I cleared the event after 29 hours. I got Maryland. I cleared it on hard, of course. In 1 day and 5 hours. Daisy Puka and Kazuyuki both congratulated me. Fine. And I finally finished the year after. Reason why it didn't go so well is because I literally ran out of time because I only slept 4 hours that day. And the entire time I was doing Kenkoi the time before, so I had no time to set this up. So I had to do a full body by myself with 2 hours left. It was not the best ideal. And honestly, I like the drawing. No, it's better to like it than not to like it. If you don't like it, you'll just end up beating yourself over it. I feel like a thing you need to do to progress with drawing is be okay with the failures. And I'm not saying Akasepia is a failure because Akasepia looks cute to me. That's definitely not an author's intent upon her daughter. Imposing upon her daughter. The author's favor imposing upon her daughter's design. Yes. Anyhow, you know, I could have tried better. I honestly feel there was a lot that I could have done better if I just had more time, but I didn't have a lot more time, so what I have is what I have, and I'm happy with that. I honestly better to think it looks nice than not at all. Bearable standard was the years. This standard, I really wanted to here on 367, but I decided to keep going and draw a few more days until I hit 7 drawings. So I drew a few more drawings, all of them including a hand. This is a hand, even though it's a little nub, it's a hand. The hand. These are hands. I actually did max out all my Toku Daihatsus. That's an extra 2% going into the future. That's what I really like. 12 times Toku Daihatsu max. Yep. We said why? Because I spent so much money on them that I don't even know why I did that. Honestly, I put myself further into debt, but wait. I feel like I've gained a lot of resources even though it's been 4 days. I'm at 13,000 here. Now I'm at like 5,000. Either that's soft to regen helping me a lot, or like the Toku Daihatsus are already putting in the numbers. I don't know. It'll take me a while to figure it out. I do feel like the extra 2% really cute. A heck ton. An actual heck ton for all. Especially depending on how long I play Kenkole, which is, I'm planning to play Kenkole until the day I fucking die. Ah! Yeah. Anyway. I kind of like the hands. They look really messy, but that's kind of the art style of Eve. The arms I don't really like that much. Whatever. Decided to do another Kaiba drawing. Kaiba this time because it's very simple. Since I discontinued designated workers, as it says right here, I decided to pursue manga drawing as a result of replacing my previous benchmark, and decided to do it the day after, but that didn't go well, so I decided to just draw, you know, I decided to draw Baraki from the Voynich Hotel. And I'm planning to draw it maybe starting today. But if I started drawing it today, I would only have 7 hours. So maybe saying 7 hours, that's a lot of time. You could easily do the first page. And I say, I have choice paralysis, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing half the time. Hopefully, I won't chicken out, and I'll just decide to do another drawing, because if I chicken out one more time, I chickened out 2 times already. I chickened out here after Unbearable Standard. Unbearable Standard was me saying, I can't take this anymore. Get me freaking out. I decided to keep going. And then my second time was another try. You told me I draw one more damn freaking drawing without even trying the manga, I think I'm gonna start hating myself, because honestly, that's just negative thinking conglomerated with the fact that you're not trying hard enough, which is gonna set you back instead of moving you forward. We need to progress. We need to move forward. And if you don't move forward, we're gonna lose. Okay? We spend way too long just doing nothing. Our entire last 5 years, aged 18 to 23, we could have been drawing. We were drawing in high school, for damn sake. We got an animation degree and everything. Gods. 5 years wasted for naught but nothing. I decline. I refuse to give up now. Can't. You know, I only had like, I spent like an hour on the eyes. The eyes still don't look good. And then I spent basically like 20 minutes on the eyelashes, the curves of the hair, the overall fringes, the body, the neck, that Tori's eye, and then the arm. I did that all in 20 minutes, including the coloring and the shading as well. And I'm like, yo, dude, I don't even know. I couldn't even have time to erase these double lines because of it. I overall like the result. Not bad. And I'm happy to not be doing designated workers, because designated workers, I wasn't really even doing designated workers after the first 21 weeks. The first 21 weeks, I was actually trying to put on, you know, I was trying to conglomerate 2 drawings. A drawing of a person doing their actual job, and then a person from anime. And I put that together. That was good. You know, that was like actually challenging. Nowadays, I do derivative works of people that are already in the fucking profession. Like, you know, Omar is a freight handler because he is literally a freight handler in Pikmin. That's not original. That's not conducive to progress. That's just backwards. It's just backwards derivative thinking that doesn't progress you as an artist. You need to suffer to progress. You need to move forward. Otherwise, what is the damn point? If you stay in one niche, you can stay in that niche until the day you fucking die. Doesn't mean you'll get any better. I'm just afraid that if I do the manga, I'm gonna start cutting corners. If I start cutting corners, I won't progress. I need to challenge myself, but I don't know how, because everything that seems challenging seems like too much of a fucking hassle. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe today I'll finally make it. Maybe today I'll finally make it. That has yet to be seen. And even if I do progress, it'll look pretty bad. But that's what I've prepared myself for. I just need to take that first step. That's what matters. I need to progress, or I won't. And all I've been doing for the last year is not progressing. Well, I've been progressing. It's just minutely small. I need to progress faster, or else I'm not gonna make it. Not gonna make it where? I don't know. The inherent goal is just to survive, I guess. And to survive means to draw. And to draw every day is the norm. If you break the norm, you'll never come back. Because I know that's just the kind of person I am. I need to try. I have to try. Or else... I'll become who I was. I'll regress. I'll become less. I'll just become what I used to be. A gotcha addict with nothing but time on his hands and pessimism in his heart. I at least want to try. Do something. I at least want to give back. That's the only thing I've ever wanted. To give back to the people that gave unto me. Those stories I grew up reading as a kid. Those mangas I enjoyed as a teen. Those animes I watched in my free young adult. Is that not why Is that not why I am who I am? I don't understand, really. Good thing not many people watch this. I need to gather my thoughts some or another, and honestly put, weekly benchmark video has helped. What degree? Get to know. Sometimes you need to just step back and look at the whole picture, rather than into the eyes of the beast. This has been a good reflection. I do feel like I've learned my stance. I do feel the need to move. So I think I will. But that has yet to be. That is yet to... After all, tried yet. Hopefully I will. I must, right? Anyway. Sorry for ragging on for so long. I just needed to sort my thoughts out, and I felt like if I did this weekly benchmark video, maybe, finally, I would be able to be motivated enough, and I do feel quite motivated, and I do have 7 hours, so hopefully, you know, at least start. I don't know whether I'll do a full page or 3 panels. I'll probably do 3 panels. You need to start out small. If you try to start out too large, you won't make it. Okay, we need to start out small. Our initial idea was to just draw 1 to 3 panels per day anyway, so why start out big? We need to do it at the very least. If we don't do it, we won't move forward. It needs to be now. It doesn't matter how little. It just needs to be done. We need to start. We need to take that first step, or we won't make any at all. How can you run a mile without the first 5 minutes? How can you run a mile without the first step? The answer is, you can't, because the mile starts on the first step. This has gone on way too long. But I feel like I've compiled my thoughts. quite accurate. It has been a good therapeutic experience. Oh, reminds me of when I talk to my therapist. That's basically what I've turned this series into. Anyhow, there's been Serial Comfort here for you, but mostly for me this episode, with another weekly benchmark video. Like, follow, and subscribe for more, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Thanks so much for watching. No waves because I don't know how to write them. But maybe. However, eventually, I'll try to find my own flow, I guess.